The message isn't really having the effect it should upon these people. And you know what's amazing to me today is that the same kind of thing goes on. You could read about God's warnings where God says, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. You can read about people being judged for falsely accusing men of God, and people who attack men of God and attack churches and attack godly Christians. God warns that the people that are going to do that are going to be judged, and then you can see the judgment come. You can see people literally lose their lives. There was an individual years ago who made it his purpose in life to attack churches like this in the new IFB and to dox and to bring up people's old past sins and to spread it abroad. And that guy literally had his head caved in, literally bludgeoned to death in an alley. You think that's a coincidence? You could hear the warnings, you could see it happen, and yet today we still have many people who want to provoke and say many things vehemently, that still want to persist, that want to put out their little films, that want to attack men of God, that want to lie and slander and rail. I'm afraid for you. You say who? Paul Wittenberger. He's a grifter and he's a beggar. That guy has no character. The guy has no integrity. I think he's one of the biggest phonies I've ever met in my whole life. I remember sitting at the first missions conference when he started to piss and moan about how his source of income got cut off because Pastor Anderson and Alex Jones bumped heads and they took all his films off of InfoWars. And I remember I looked that guy dead in the eye and said, Paul, your films have saved countless people. I mean, I heard it all the time when I was the deacon at the church. Emails, phone calls, running into people at soul winning marathons. How many people would even say, hey, I heard the gospel through one of those one of those films? Yeah. And that's the testimony of many, many people. And I told this to Paul at that time. I'm like, Paul, you have had such an impact for Christ. And I just remember it was like, huh. So what were you in it for then, Paul? So you could ride on the coattails of a great man of God and make a name for yourself, try to be somebody? These films aren't making any money. Then go get a real job, buddy. What's that tell you about that guy? He's a phony. He's a fake. And he's making his little movie right now, getting a bunch of those rebellious children together who are going to continue to lie and slander against their parents. I'm afraid for them. I'm afraid of what God's going to do to them. And mark it down, it's going to happen. So why hasn't God done anything yet? To see if they're still stupid enough to go through with it. After everything that's taken place over the years, all the things that have happened to all these liars and slanderers and attackers repeatedly, you're going to persist? You kind of remind me of these guys in the story tonight. Just got called out and got told exactly what they're like, got their sins called out, and got promised judgment, and then just begin to speak more vehemently. Well, we'll see what happens, I guess.